Reason is the source of morality. These words, uttered by Immanuel Kant, one of history's most influential philosophers, echo through the centuries, shaping our understanding of ethics, knowledge, and human nature itself. Today, we'll dive deep into Immanuel Kant's philosophy, uncovering 10 life lessons from Immanuel Kant that can transform your life and unlock the path to success. But before we reveal these revolutionary Immanuel Kant lessons, have you ever wondered how the man behind Kantianism, who rarely left his hometown, could so profoundly influence Western thought? The answer to this question will take us on a fascinating journey through the mind of the genius who gave us the critique of pure reason, the critique of practical reason, and the critique of the power of judgment. Immanuel Kant, born in 1724 in the Prussian city of Königsberg, is considered one of the pillars of modern philosophy. His philosophical revolution, explored in Immanuel Kant's Critique of Pure Reason, Immanuel Kant's Critique of Practical Reason, and Immanuel Kant's Critique of the Power of Judgment, placed the human being at the center of the study of knowledge, morality, and beauty. But what makes Kant's philosophy so relevant today, more than 2 centuries after his death? Throughout this video, we'll explore how Kantian humanism and procedural humanism have shaped the values of Western culture, and how these Immanuel Kant life lessons can be applied to achieve success and personal fulfillment in the contemporary world. Prepare yourself for an intellectual journey that will challenge your perceptions, stimulate your critical thinking, and perhaps even change your life forever as we delve into Immanuel Kant's ethics and morality. Lesson 1. Humanity as an end in itself. One of the most famous Immanuel Kant quotes teaches us, "Act in such a way that you treat humanity, whether in your own person or in the person of any other, never merely as a means to an end, but always at the same time as an end." This maxim, extracted from his work, Groundwork of the Metaphysics of Morals, is at the core of Kantian ethics. But what does it mean to treat humanity as an end in itself? Imagine a world where every human interaction was based on mutual respect and the inherent dignity of each individual. Kant's philosophy argued that human beings possess intrinsic value, independent of their utility to others. This means we should treat people with respect, recognizing their autonomy and freedom. In practice, this implies never manipulating, deceiving, or exploiting others to achieve our goals. Even when we use someone's services, we should do so in a way that respects their humanity. For example, when interacting with a store clerk, we shouldn't see them merely as a means to get what we want, but as a complete human being with their own goals and dignity. This lesson from Immanuel Kant's ethics is fundamental to building healthy and lasting personal and professional relationships. By treating others with genuine respect, we not only act ethically, but also create an environment conducive to mutual success. Lesson 2. Freedom as the foundation. Freedom is the faculty that enlarges the usefulness of all other faculties, Kant stated. But what did he really mean by this? For Kant, freedom wasn't simply the absence of external constraints, but the ability to act according to reason and morality. He saw freedom as the basis of human rights and individual dignity. This conception of freedom in Immanuel Kant's philosophy has profound implications for our pursuit of success. It reminds us that true success doesn't come from blind submission to desires or external pressures, but from the ability to make autonomous and morally grounded choices. How can we apply this idea in our lives? First, we must recognize that freedom comes with responsibility. We're free to make choices, but we must be prepared to accept the consequences of those choices. Moreover, the Kantian view of freedom encourages us to fight not only for our own freedom, but for the freedom of all. This means defending human rights, combating oppression, and working to create a society where everyone can exercise their autonomy. In a professional context, for example, this might mean creating a work environment that respects employees' autonomy, encouraging creativity and responsible decision-making. Lesson 3. Respect for animals as a reflection of humanity. Surprisingly, Kant, who lived in the 18th century, already recognized the importance of ethical treatment of animals. He stated, "He who is cruel to animals becomes hard also in his dealings with men." This statement reveals a profound understanding of the interconnection between all forms of life and the impact our actions have on the world around us, an idea that resonates with modern interpretations of Kantian humanism. Although Kant didn't advocate for equal rights for animals and humans, he recognized that how we treat animals reflects our moral character. This idea is surprisingly modern and aligns with recent scientific discoveries about animal consciousness. How can we incorporate this lesson into our lives? We start by recognizing that respect for life in all its forms is a fundamental aspect of moral development and personal success. This can manifest in various ways: adopting a more conscious diet, supporting ethical business practices towards animals, or simply treating the animals in our lives with kindness and respect. By cultivating empathy and compassion for all creatures, we not only improve our relationship with the natural world, but also develop essential qualities for success in human relationships and ethical leadership. Lesson 4. Duty as the foundation of moral action. Kant argued that an action to have moral worth must be done from duty. This concept is central to Immanuel Kant's ethics and morality. For Kant, the moral value of an action doesn't lie in its consequences, but in the intention behind it. He believed that acting morally means acting according to duty, regardless of our inclinations or emotions. This might seem counterintuitive at first. After all, aren't our emotions and empathy what make us moral beings? Kant would argue that while emotions are important, they are inconstant and subjective. True morality, he believed, must be based on universal rational principles. How can we apply this idea in our pursuit of success? First, we should strive to act based on solid ethical principles, even when it goes against our immediate desires or personal interests. For example, a business leader who acts ethically not because it improves the company's image, but because it's the right thing to do, is acting in accordance with Kantian duty. This approach can lead to more sustainable and meaningful success. By basing our actions on solid ethical principles, we build a reputation for integrity and reliability, which are fundamental for long-term success in any field. Lesson 5. The inner moral law. One of the most profound Immanuel Kant quotes says, "Two things fill the mind with ever new and increasing admiration and awe, the more often and steadily we reflect upon them, the starry heavens above me and the moral law within me." Kant believed that each individual possesses an inner moral compass, guided by reason. This moral law is not imposed externally, but arises from our own capacity for ethical reasoning, a concept central to Kantianism. How can we apply this idea in our daily lives? First, we should cultivate the habit of ethical reflection. Before making important decisions, we should ask ourselves, if everyone acted this way, would the world be a better place? This approach, known as Kant's categorical imperative, helps us make consistent and universalizable ethical decisions. Moreover, the idea of the inner moral law reminds us that ethics is not just about following external rules, but about developing our own sense of morality. This requires self-knowledge, critical reflection, and an ongoing commitment to personal growth. In the context of personal and professional success, this lesson encourages us to develop a strong internal ethical compass. Leaders who possess a strong sense of personal ethics are more likely to make consistent decisions and inspire trust in their colleagues and subordinates. Lesson 6. The importance of truth. Kant was inflexible in his condemnation of lying. He stated, "By a lie a man throws away and as it were annihilates his dignity as a man." This position may seem extreme, especially in a world where we sometimes feel pressured to soften the truth for social convenience or personal gain. However, Kant's insistence on absolute honesty contains a valuable lesson that's still relevant in today's world. Lying, Kant argued, not only harms others, but also diminishes our own humanity. When we lie, we treat others as means to our ends, denying them the opportunity to make decisions based on truth. How can we apply this lesson in our pursuit of success? First, we should cultivate a reputation for honesty and integrity. In the long run, the trust we gain by being consistently honest is far more valuable than any short-term gain we might obtain through deception. Moreover, radical honesty forces us to face the reality of our situations and actions. This may be uncomfortable in the short term, but it's essential for genuine personal and professional growth. For example, an entrepreneur who is honest about the challenges their company faces, both with investors and employees, is better positioned to address these challenges collaboratively and effectively. Lesson 7. Becoming worthy of happiness. Kant made a crucial distinction between being happy and being worthy of happiness. He stated, "Morality is not properly the doctrine of how we may make ourselves happy, but how we may make ourselves worthy of happiness." This idea challenges the common notion that the goal of life is simply to seek happiness. Instead, Kant's philosophy suggests that we should strive to become morally worthy people, regardless of whether it brings us immediate happiness. How can we apply this lesson in our pursuit of success? First, we should redefine our understanding of success. Instead of just seeking wealth, status, or pleasure, we should strive to develop our moral character. This means doing the right thing, even when it's difficult or doesn't bring immediate benefits. It means cultivating virtues like honesty, integrity, and compassion, not because they'll make us happy, but because they're the right thing to do. For example, a professional who refuses to cut ethical corners to advance their career may not achieve success as quickly as others. However, over time, their integrity and reliability are likely to lead to more sustainable and meaningful success. Moreover, as we strive to become worthy of happiness, we often paradoxically find a deeper and more lasting form of satisfaction. There's a sense of fulfillment that comes from living according to our moral principles that no external success can match. Lesson 8. Reason as the basis of morality. Kant argued vehemently against the idea of basing morality on religion. He stated, "Nothing is divine except what is agreeable to reason." This position may seem controversial, especially for those who see religion as the primary source of moral guidance. However, Kant's intention wasn't to discard religion. Rather, he argued that morality should be accessible to everyone through reason, regardless of their religious beliefs, a key tenet of procedural humanism. How can we apply this lesson in our pursuit of success? First, we should strive to develop our capacity for ethical reasoning. This means questioning our moral assumptions, seeking evidence and arguments, and being willing to change our opinions when confronted with better reasons. Moreover, this approach encourages us to seek ethical principles that can be universally applied, transcending cultural and religious differences. This is particularly important in the globalized world of business and politics, where we often need to collaborate with people from diverse backgrounds. For example, a leader who bases their ethical decisions on universal rational principles rather than specific dogmas is better equipped to create an inclusive and ethical work environment. Lesson 9. Self-esteem and self-respect. Kant warns us, "He who makes himself a worm cannot complain afterwards if people step on him." This powerful statement reminds us of the importance of self-esteem and self-respect. Kant argued that we have a duty not only to respect others, but also to respect ourselves as rational and moral beings. How can we apply this lesson in our pursuit of success? First, we should establish clear boundaries in our personal and professional relationships. This means not allowing others to treat us in ways that compromise our dignity or integrity. Moreover, we should strive to live according to our own ethical standards. When we compromise our values for short-term gains, we diminish our own moral worth. For example, a professional who refuses to participate in unethical practices in their workplace, even under pressure, is affirming their moral value and dignity. While this may be difficult in the short term, in the long run, it builds strong character and a reputation for integrity. Lesson 10. The importance of action and purpose. Finally, Kant reminds us of the importance of being active and purposeful in our lives. He stated, "The busier we are, the more acutely we feel that we live, the more conscious we are of life." This statement resonates with Kant's emphasis on duty and moral action. For him, a well-lived life is not one of passive pleasure, but of active engagement with the world and our moral duties. How can we apply this lesson in our pursuit of success? First, we should strive to live with purpose. This means setting meaningful goals for ourselves, both personal and professional, and actively working to achieve them. Moreover, we should seek opportunities to contribute positively to the world around us. This might involve volunteering, mentoring, or simply striving to do our work to the best of our ability. For example, an entrepreneur who sees their business not just as a means of making money, but as a way to create value for society, is living according to this Kantian principle. The lessons from Immanuel Kant's philosophy, though formulated over 2 centuries ago, remain deeply relevant to our pursuit of success and fulfillment in the modern world. They remind us that true success is not just about external achievements, but about living a life of integrity, purpose, and respect for human dignity. By incorporating these Immanuel Kant life lessons into our lives, we can not only achieve personal success, but also contribute to creating a more ethical and just world. As Kant taught us in his works like The Critique of Pure Reason, The Critique of Practical Reason, and The Critique of the Power of Judgment, each of us has the power and responsibility to use our reason to make moral choices and live a life worthy of respect. So the next time you're faced with a difficult decision or ethical dilemma, remember these lessons from Kantianism. Ask yourself, am I treating others and myself as ends in themselves? Am I acting according to principles that could become universal laws? Am I living in a way that makes me worthy of happiness? By doing this, you'll not only be following the teachings of one of history's greatest philosophers, but also paving the way for deeper and more meaningful success. And you, how do you plan to apply these Immanuel Kant lessons in your life? Share your reflections in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more content on philosophy and personal growth. Until next time.